When you hear a pistol build, which build does come on your mind? Is it like a Regulus, one-shot, headshot, gunslinger type of build that pops the head everywhere, left, right, and center? Or is it like the Harvest pistol with determined talent that can one-shot on body? Yes, it can actually do that. I do have that build made myself. If you want, you can check it out. Kind of shameless plug here, but it doesn't matter. Or is it a classic, Liberty pistol with the perfect Vanguard on the chest piece, maybe Foundry Bulwark in the mix there, super tanky, and you're doing pew 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 with the pistol, being like the group tank here. Yeah, I don't have any of that right now. What I do have right now is tons of healing, which comes from the regen, and a lot of damage. It's a pistol crit build that not only doing crazy amount of damage, but also keeping you alive. Now, I do have two variants to show you, one for group and one for solo. I'm going to have to make a solo, and in my opinion, I would say the solo variant is a bit better than the group variant, because at the end of the day, I'm a solo player, so I do focus on that a lot, and I know you guys love that too. So I do have these two variants to show you, so I'm not going to yap much and not take much of your time, because I know time is very important and I respect that. So let's jump right into the builds, and without any further ado, let me show you what you have to do to make this beautiful build. But first, let's see which modifiers we need to put on this build. Now, as for the modifiers, there's nothing crazy in the modifiers. I'm using the exact same modifiers that I would use on a crit build, because, even if it's a pistol build, it is a crit build, so we're going to use the same amount of modifiers. I did thought about changing the active modifiers to like Vendetta, but yeah, now Overdrive is really good here. You activate this, you hit the max momentum, you get yourself an invulnerable shield, you get overcharged skills, basically more weapon damage. So yeah, it's hard to beat here. Now, as for the passive modifiers, I'm using the critical recovery. So whenever you crit, which we are doing all the time, we're going to recover our armor. So that's more regen for us, even though we have crazy amount of regen on the build. We are also using the critical momentum, so we can get the momentum really quickly while we crit. So we stay at that max momentum pretty much all the time. And the third one, I'm actually using the fortified shield here, because that doubles our shield health. Now, we have a 26 million shield health with this, which is kind of crazy. So yeah, that's the reason why I'm using it. Now, you can also use something like the reactive reinforcement to give yourself more healing when your shield takes damage, which is pretty much happening all the time. There is a 10-second cooldown, though. That's the reason why I actually chose the fortified shield, because that just doubles our shield health, and that's it. Like, that's a lot of shield health, like 26 million, which is crazy. So that's all the modifiers here. Now, let's talk about what weapons are we going to be using on this build. Now, as for the weapon here, since it's a pistol build, like a pistol crit build, so our main weapon is a pistol, and there are a bunch of pistols you can actually use, but I'm using the card 45 here, not the custom. Don't get fooled by the custom, because it gives you the skill tier. We're just using a normal card 45, the high-end card 45 pistol. I do have damage to target of cover here. I did add some expertise here because I wanted to hit that 1 million crits, which I managed to do that, so I'm happy with it. And this weapon is very stable. Like, you can hit wherever you want to hit with this with a very high RPM. So you can just rapid fire with this, and you can already see it in the footage that it's doing that. So it does a great job there. Now, I'm choosing this trained talent here because we have a lot of crit chance on our build. So I'm going with the talent that gives more crit damage here. So we can get up to 50% crit damage from this. Now, I'm not choosing something like killer because that's kill dependent, and I don't want that. We don't want any condition here because it requires you to get a kill. Then you can get the killer active, and you're not going to be activating killer back to back to back all the time. Like, it's never going to happen all the time there. Now, you can also use something like preservation talent if you want more healing, but I doubt you need that because the build itself has way too much healing, so I don't think you need preservation. But that's an option if you want to choose it. Now, you can always use Liberty here, but the main reason I'm not using Liberty because it dances too much, and you will have a lot of trouble trying to just basically focus on the target. Even if you're hitting the target on the body, the weapon shakes too much that you will miss the shot. And obviously not choosing Regulus here because it's a raid weapon and not everybody has it, so I'm not choosing that. But you can still use Liberty though. Liberty is a great weapon. It gives you a lot of damage when you fire the weapon. You build up more stacks, but then it moves too much. That's why I'm staying with the card 45 here. So that's basically my pistol. I mean, my main weapon. Now, as for the build, I already mentioned that I have two variants of the build, one for solo and the other one for group. Now, I'm going to show you the solo variant first. And you can see this is the solo variant over here. We have the Mento here. That's the reason why I'm calling it a solo variant. And we're not going to be using the Memento backpack for the group variant because I feel like when you're in a group, you may not be able to, take all the targets down, like the 30 targets to get the Memento stacks fully. So, I mean, if you can do that, yeah, if you can do that, you can absolutely use this particular variant in a group. You can give it a try. If it works for you, that's great. But for me, I think like this is better for solo. And it's actually better than the group variant because we not only have more damage and also more survivability. And it's very flexible. Like you can change things around to give yourself more damage or more like survivability. So first of all, let's just see what high-end pieces I have. Like you can see I have a chill out mask here, which is a Gilligard. So it's giving us 5% total armor. So that's nice. More armor is more regen. We all know that. I have crit chance here as an attribute. I have 2 protection from elite mods here. Now I could change that completely and make sure it's like crit damage, crit damage. You can absolutely do that. You don't have to use 24% of protection from elite. Now, there's a reason why I'm doing that, which I'm going to mention when I'm showing you the group variant. So that's the only reason why I'm doing it, kind of trying to balancing out in a way. I'll talk about it, but you can absolutely use crit damage here. That 24% is not really going to do that much, but it's something. But you can obviously use, crit damage mod here without an issue. So yeah, we're using that. Now, since I'm using Gilligard, you can also ask the question, why aren't you using 3 pieces of Gilligard and using like a perfect Vanguard talent on the chest? Now, I already said this is not a tank support build. This is a tank kind of build, which is pretty tanky and keeping you alive, has plenty of survivability, but we are using a pistol crit build. Like this still a kind of a damage build. Like we're still damaging, like we have crit. So that's why I didn't went for that full-on support kind of play style. Now for the chest piece, I'm using the Beltstone here with 1% of armor regen as the first piece set bonus. So again, more healing from that. We have crit damage, crit chance, and crit damage mod, and obliterate talent. Now, you can also ask this question like, wait, obliterate on a pistol build? Are you sure about that? Yes, it can stay active without an issue because it's a crit build. This is a pistol crit build, and we are critting, and I have no trouble keeping obliterate active with my pistol. It's not a problem there. So definitely going to use that. Now you can always say that why not use something like, let's say, intimidate or perfect intimidate in this case. You can use that. Yes, that's going to be more damage, but there is a problem. The perfect intimidate locks you at in close range, like 10 meters. I just normally intimidate as well. Like the intimidate talent, basically, it locks you at a shorter range. Plus, you need a bonus armor for it to be active. The only source of bonus armor right now we have on this build is the Memento backpack. And it can stay only for 10 seconds. So if you don't take your targets down in 10 seconds, you're going to be sitting at without any damage from the chest piece. So that's kind of bad. Whereas Obliterate will be active pretty much all the time because you're critting all the time and it doesn't have a range locked. Like basically you can shoot at any range with this thing. So you don't have to worry about going up close and then doing damage. So that's why I chose the Obliterate talent. As for my holster, I have a golden piece. I do have 2 golden pieces for 1.5% of armor regen, the set bonus there. We have crit damage and crit chance as the attribute for the holster. Now the second golden piece is my gloves, so I have crit chance and crit damage here. Now for the knee pads, I wanted to choose like something like a Fox's Sprayer, like something more damage. But then I saw this thing was on my stash collecting dust, so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna add this because it gives you 1% armor regen. Plus, I already have crit damage here, so I changed this to weapon damage because I felt like 1.8 million armor is quite a lot. So let's not just add more armor to it and add a little bit of weapon damage here. That's basically what I did, and I'm just using it. If you don't have this, you don't have to use it. You can use any knee pads. You can, like I said, you can go with Fox's Sprayer for that damage to target of cover. But I'm just using it just for fun, and the regen is just too much. So it's pretty hilarious how much regen I have on this build. Like without Memento, I have 3.5% of armor regen coming up from all these set bonuses that I have. And with Memento, that's 6.5% of armor regen. Yes, that is pretty stupid, I know. Now, if I show you my stats here for the armor regen, you can see it's 62,000. That is without Memento. When Memento stacks get active, you're hitting at like 116k armor regen per second as a solo player. That is stupidly strong. And that's the reason why you can see it on the clip that I can stay alive. I can tank all those big chungus, multiple of them that are shooting at me. Not 2, but 3 of them as well in many situations. And even Warhounds are chipping me from the back. I'm staying alive because of all the regen that this build has, which is pretty stupid. And again, that little bit of 24% protection from elite kind of working at the same time. So yeah, that's basically it. Now, I have plenty of ways to regen myself. What about my shield? See, this is the reason why I'm using the technician specialization, like I mentioned, because it gives you the artificial hive. So whenever the hive, the purple juice hits your shield, it heals your shield. Plus, don't forget our modifiers, because when we are unstoppable, which is max momentum basically, and we're staying pretty much at all times like that, and we have invulnerable shield. So that's why our shield cannot get destroyed no matter what. And even if we are not sitting at max momentum, the artificial hive going to heal that shield. So overall, it works awesome, to be honest. Like, the synergy here is great. And that's why I said the solo variant is better than the group variant. So yeah, that's pretty much the build. Now, if you really want to know how much crit chance I have on my pistol, I can count it for you, because I don't think the stats will show you, because this is showing the Lexington here. So let me just show you real quick. Like, I already said the Card 45 has a 20% of crit chance with all the mods, right? Now you have your SSD watch that gives you 10% of crit chance, so that's 30%. We have a mask which gives us the 6% crit chance, so that's 36% crit chance. The chest piece also has 6% here, so that's 42%. We have a crit chance on the holster, so that's 48%, and also crit chance on the glove, so that's 54% of crit chance. Now, don't forget, whenever you kill blacklisted enemies, you're going to get 10% more crit chance. So basically, on this build, we have 64% crit chance. So you can obviously take one of these crit chance attribute and make it crit damage, and you can go like crit damage, crit damage, crit damage. You can absolutely do that to get more damage. My goal was to hit 1 million crits, most of the time, and that's basically what I'm doing here with this pistol. I mean, with a card 45 to hit 1 million crits on body, that is quite a lot of damage, not gonna lie. So yeah, it's working really well. This is basically the solo variant here. Now, as for the group variant, this is what I'm using in the group variant. As you can see, I already took out the memento. I told you I'm not going to use the memento in the group because, you need to get the stacks for the regen. So it might not work in a group because there are other players that are killing targets as well. So if you don't get the final blow, you're not going to get that trophy pickup, and you won't get that bonus armor and regen from memento. So that's why I'm choosing the Bellstone backpack here, because I was using the Bellstone on the chest piece on the previous variant. So I'm using a backpack here to keep that armor regen set bonus there. I also have crit damage, crit chance, and obviously crit damage mod. And the talent I'm using is Protector. Since I'm in a group, I kind of want to help my group members as well a little bit to give them bonus armor. And this is basically a set and forget talent. So you get shot like your shield, and this give bonus armor to your group members. Now, there is no condition to it, like a requirement, like a range requirement, so which is good. Like, whenever your shield gets damaged, you give bonus armor to them, no matter where they are. Like, as long as they're in the vicinity of the mission or whatever you're doing, they'll get bonus armor. There is no, like, a range requirement here, which is good. Now, as for the chest piece, I chose the Provocator Chest piece, which is obviously an exotic chest piece. Now, you can get this chest piece if you don't know where to get it. Let me tell you, you can get it from Manhunt mission, which is the last season, like a finale kind of mission. You can get that. If you do it on heroic difficulty or below, you can get it as a chance for you to drop it. But if you do it on, I believe, master difficulty, you're going to get it as a guaranteed drop. So that's basically how you get the chest piece. Now, the reason why I'm using this chest piece is because we dropped the memento, right? So we lost a lot of regen from memento. So that's why I'm kind of like fixing that by giving myself damage resistance from this chest piece. So 25% damage resistance from all enemies. Like, this is not a protection from elite. This is a damage resistance. Red, purple elites, rogues, hunters, chungers, warhounds, mini tanks, anything that is shooting at you, anything that is certified as an enemy doing damage, they'll do 25% less damage to you, which is a good thing. And 20-meter range is a pretty good range. It pretty much covers the entire area of a mission that you're playing, if you're playing a legendary or something. Now, where would you use this build? Like, honestly, I'm not going to oversell this. I'm going to tell you where I use this build. I use this mainly in Countdown. Yes, this guarantees me an extraction, basically. Like, whenever I matchmake in a Countdown, I see people running like bunch of all red build or like DPS build, striker build, ongoing corrective build, SMG builds and all that. So yeah, it's great for the starting of the countdown, but when you go to the end of the countdown, when you have like bunch of hunters and then you have bunch of Black Tusk elite enemies, that's the time it becomes a little tedious. And that's the time this build shines, keeps me alive, and make sure that I extract. So I don't care about anybody at that point. As long as I can see that chopper out there, I'm gonna go and just get out, basically. Because extracting is important in Countdown. Yes, you can get all the loots and stuff, but if you extract, then you get more Countdown credit, which you can later on spend it in the Countdown vendor, right? So that's why I use it. This is basically my go-to countdown build. I use it as a guaranteed extraction. And if you're playing in a countdown, getting the modifier that gives more damage for close range or headshot damage modifier, yeah, then you're going to be absolutely shredding the targets there as well, which is nice. So with the protected talent, I'm giving bonus armor to my group members, so I'm at least doing something for them. And I'm not using the Vanguard chest piece, which I'm pretty sure most of you guys will ask me why I'm not doing that. Because I'm not using Vanguard to protect my group members. I'm using this chest piece to protect myself. Basically, that's what I'm doing here because I want to extract, all right? And I use this build. So it's a fun build. If you want to make this, you can use it. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure you're going to be loving the first variant. You can let me know in the comment section, but I already know your answer. I'm pretty sure you're going to be loving the first variant than this one, but this helps me extract countdown, so I just wanted to show you as well. I could have just made one build, I mean, just the first variant, but since I also use this one in countdown, really helps me to extract and stuff, so I thought maybe it'll help some of you guys out there as well, so I wanted to show you. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, because, you know, it's free and it really helps me. Plus, you can always change your mind later, and I will see you guys in the next one. Till then, peace.